Michael. How are
Hi.
you today?
I'm doing okay. Pretty busy.
Great. You were a referral to me from the National Guard. They send a lot of their clients over here, and I have a basic summary of some of the issues that you have, but I don't get the full picture.
Okay.
So my understanding is, make sure I'm right here, is that you're a corporate professional. Obviously, you're wearing your outfit, and you have a busy work schedule. You have 2 young children at home, and you struggle with weight control, and you think that the primary reason might be because of eating out or not eating balanced meals at home. I'm just going to try to help figure out what we can do for you today. Do you have what is your goal, I guess? Do you have a goal already established?
Well, I like to call myself Fa Thor, growing the beard here, and wanting to be the strong figure for my family to support them, and not really going for the dad bod
Okay.
kind of deal. Wanted to be more fit
Okay.
and more capable of doing things with my kids when they get older. So I want to be, the active parent or the active grandparent whenever that comes around.
I can definitely relate with that one. So my next question is, have you thought about some of the disadvantages that you've actually experienced from the weight gain that you suggested that you might want to work on?
Yeah, lack of endurance, say wanting to run around or play with the kids, not being able to keep up with pace, or say knees or back not doing the best. So
Does it affect your fitness testing at all in the military, or do you notice that so much?
a little bit, and it's kind of, I've had to really adjust my goals instead of not going to max BT test, but I'm definitely not just struggling to pass, but whenever it comes time to height, weight, and I'm always having to tape because I'm always above that weight limit. But I've always considered myself a little on the heavier side because I've always done weightlifting. So I think there's just a little more muscle mass and other things, and being a taller guy myself. So.
Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, how important is this goal of yours? It sounds like it's not just a weight loss goal, but it's actually a wellness goal. Tell me how important that is to you on that scale, 1 to 10.
I would say it's fitness, really, really high. So 8.
An 8? Okay,
Yeah.
great. So the next question is, you had said in your statement originally that you had overcame this problem before. This isn't the first time that you've struggled with this.
No, it's kind of yo-yoed.
Yo-yoed, okay.
Yeah.
And so what I like to do is ask kind of what kind of things you've done in the past that helped you overcome this in the past, so that you can remember some of your strengths that you tried last time.
Well, I think some of it is having that support group, having other men, other fathers who are experiencing very similar issues, and also sometimes it's work, being able to be flexible with that, or not being as stressful as getting in the way, allowing me to focus on that. One of those is over the past year and now the new school year, instead of being able to come in early and have that focused, dedicated time in the gym when I was doing really well, now kids are at a different school, having to coordinate dropping them off at school or picking them up, especially now that schools and bus systems aren't running every week, and so having to coordinate that in and trying to sacrifice, where do I need to sacrifice and balance that with work.
So how confident are you that you can overcome this? You've done it before. You're in, sounds like crazy challenging times right now. So how confident do you think you are in your abilities to overcome it again?
Well, I know I can do it if I can get other things set up and established to make it more consistent. Then I know I could do it.
So planning ahead and just getting on a regular schedule is the key to success in the past.
Yep.
Because I was going to ask you, if you weren't too confident, like what kind of things are stopping you, but it sounds like to me that your schedule right now, your change in schedule is what's kind of stopping you.
Yeah, it's really trying to adjust to that changing schedule and limited times. So instead of being able to come to the work and utilize our fitness center here, what are some things I might be able to do at home to do fitness there, because I can't come to work and then drive all the way back home, because that'd just be nonsense.
Right. So trying to get the biggest bang for your buck.
Yeah. Or plan it during the day. But if other meetings or other things fill up that day, my time gets really occupied really quick. So I've tried doing workouts in the end of the day, and I know I should be, treating myself as an important an appointment, like I would a doctor or a dentist appointment, but it always ends up, I've got to get this done and don't go to the gym.
So time management seems to be the biggest challenge
I think so.
at this point with all your changes. So does weight control issues run in your family? Do you have any sort of issues?
Yes.
Runs in your family also? Okay. What about your support system? You said that a support system is really important to you. Is your wife supportive of your efforts?
She said she is, but yeah, when she comes home from grocery shopping or whatever, there's always things in there. I mean, I enjoy cooking just like anybody else does, and trying to be more rewarding of certain things if we have those in the house for the kids. If they do behave or if they do eat their meal, then those are available. But at the same time,
Makes it more challenging.
it makes it more challenging, because I've gone through and knowing that your willpower will always fail you, especially if those are constantly tempting you.
Mm-hmm.
So I know the best course of action. If it was just me, I wouldn't have those in my house.
So what about your work environment? Is it supportive of a healthy lifestyle?
I would think so. Yeah.
Okay, great. You said you think that possibly eating out or not eating balanced meals might be a big part of the problem. Can you think of anything else that's contributing to it besides your busy, crazy schedule right now?
Probably losing sleep. My 4-year-old still does not sleep very well. So not having that motivation to really get out of bed that much earlier, because I still want to focus on sleep, and so if I'm still not getting to bed and sleeping until midnight, then if I'm always waking up at 6, I'm only getting 6 or less hours of sleep. And so trying to find that balance or tips on ways to help that, and having the rest of the I love eating food and love eating vegetables and healthy meals, but also what can I do to make sure the rest of the family also having a family of picky eaters. So I'm having to sacrifice some of the meals so the rest of the family would eat it, so we're not having to make 2 separate meals.
So I know that previously you talked about growing your own garden. Does that help at all? People excited to eat things out of your garden?
Yeah, when we're able to. This year we weren't able to because of other things going on. We weren't able to get things planted, and if we did, it would be too late. And so, but when we have grown the garden, I think the kids were really excited to go out and explore in the garden, pull things right out of the garden and eat it right out of the dirt.
So when you say you eat out quite often, how often is that? Do you eat out once a week? Do you eat out 3 times a week?
Well, lately for lunches has been pretty frequent, at least 3 days a week.
Okay. And when you're ordering out for lunch, do you look at the menu beforehand to see if there's any healthier options, or do you just kind of go with the flow, go on the fly?
Mostly the second part, or
Mostly
I'll
order
choose
okay.
what seems appetizing at the time, and probably choose the healthiest option. One of those
Available at the PX.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah.
So, and you also said you're struggling with sleep. So part of it's because of your daughter, but do you have other issues with sleep? Like when you are able to sleep, do you feel like you sleep well?
Sometimes I think so. I know my wife has said I have an issue with snoring, or not technically sleep apnea. I've had a test and it said that wasn't an issue, but I do know that it is worse when I go extended period of time without good sleep.
How long has it been since your test?
A couple years.
Okay. So do you have any current medical issues or food allergies or any kind of thing like that that you think might be contributing to any of this?
No, I think sometimes my limitations is just personal injuries. Like I'll do really well, and then all of a sudden I'll injure my shoulder or my knee or my back, and then that feels like I'm really backsliding because it's taking months, and then I lose my momentum, get out of that routine and habit.
Okay.
So I think some of it is.
So obviously you come into this appointment today, tells me that you're serious about, getting started with this program. How ready do you feel?
How
Is
ready
this a good
do I
time?
feel?
Are you ready? School just started. You guys are getting into a new routine.
Well, I like to think that every day is a new year, and so why wait for New Year's resolution? So let's do it.
Okay, so you want to do it starting right away. That's awesome. The other question that I would have is, you want to get started right away. Have you thought about what kind of things you're willing to sacrifice and which ones you're not willing to sacrifice at all?
Yeah, well, I'm not willing to sacrifice family time, as that's very important. And I'm open to sacrificing many things to understand that balance. And sometimes it's needing to prune the tree in order for other things to grow.
Okay.
That sometimes it's just trying to find that balance.
So are you working on any other goals besides this one right now?
Well, I have some career goals
Okay.
that I'm working on. That's kind of also trying to balance that
Right.
as well. So
The reason I ask the question is because, sometimes having just one goal at a time helps you actually accomplish goals. Your success rate's a lot higher if you do just one goal at a time. So after hearing, in summary of what we've kind of talked about, you said you wanted to spend more time with your family, but you also wanted your time with them to be more beneficial and healthy. You kind of have some support at home, but you wish it was a little bit more. Maybe that's a conversation that you need to have with your wife. Sounds like you have a supportive work environment. They're all your cheerleaders about doing well with your fitness test and your family. Sounds like you've had a few issues with sleep, and it's been a while since you had a physical, and you did have a sleep apnea test, but it seems to be getting worse. And so, I would actually have some recommendations for you.
okay.
And maybe we could talk about that in our next session. But for now, I just want you to process some of the stuff that we've talked about, so you can maybe come in with a few more ideas. And then really a coaching session is that we're getting creative together. We're going to think outside the box, and we're going to write pros and cons down so that we can overcome your challenges, so that you can actually reach your goal. So I definitely look forward to, thank you for meeting this first time, and it's an opportunity for me to gather a lot more information so that I can understand where we're going to go from here based on your conversation with me. So again, thank you, and I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday at 5. Is that good for you?
Sounds good.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.